Hope you cut away from me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the ATG Podcast. My name is TitaniumZombie or Ryder, whatever you want to call me. Doesn't really matter, TZ. And today we are here for episode 12 of the podcast. And we got... What? What'd you just say?
It's a dozen.
It's a dozen, yeah.
12 dozen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. A dozen of podcast.
We're really just getting through these, every 2 weeks. But today we got a special guest here today. We got tons of stuff to talk about. But I would like to welcome our guest, IrishPotatooe.
Hello.
Yeah. Well, we always have
I was smiling very awkwardly for the last 10 seconds.
Be more audience clapping in the background. Yeah. We're in a big
Love editing it, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I have a day to edit this, so maybe don't make it too long. But yeah, so welcome. Irish, how you doing today?
Not too bad. What about yourselves?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah. Doing good.
We're gonna discuss why Natty is not good, by the way.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff.
I'm sure.
So, for anyone who's listening who doesn't know, Sunday, so we're recording this on the Tuesday, but Sunday, so 2 days ago, was MCBC, the event that all of us work on. Irish being the newly appointed roster manager, which is really cool. We're definitely going to talk about that. But a big topic we're probably going to talk about is that, Relic got skipped. And that's like Natty's thing.
The sad violin music.
How dare they? Skipped?
So,
I can't believe it.
Definitely something we're gonna have a chat about. But first, at the beginning of every episode, we always do a little bit of a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
We try and break the ice a little bit. So, Natty, I'm gonna have to ask you to mute in a sec.
Oh, okay.
But we're gonna be doing not right now.
Mute.
Not right now.
Oh, all right.
He's going to be right now.
So we're going to be playing a game called Fast Money. So basically, if you've seen Jeopardy, it's very similar to that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to ask you guys a question.
Not similar to Jeopardy.
And you're going to... Wait, what? Oh, no, it's not Jeopardy. It's Family Feud. Sorry.
Family Feud.
Sorry. I'm tired. Don't worry
Same
about
difference. Yeah, don't worry.
It's a game show. Whatever. I'm going to ask you a question. You're going to fire it off an answer. And based on how many points you get, and we're going to see who gets more points by the end.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Not allowed to say the same answers, that kind of stuff. Irish, you're going to get to go first. Natty, I'm going to ask you to deafen real quick in the Discord, if you could.
All right. Yeah.
I'll ping you when we're ready. So, Irish, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so just fire off first thing you think, and then I'll tell you afterward what your answers were.
Yeah. Got it.
All right, so Irish, question number 1. Name a common color for flowers.
Yellow.
Okay. Name. All right. Question 2. Name something you do when you wake up in the morning.
Get out of bed.
All right. Get out of bed. It's a fair answer. All right. Name a sport played without a ball.
Without a ball.
Without a ball.
Swimming.
Question 4. Name a musical instrument.
Piano. I play that.
I played it too. The piano is a great instrument.
Yeah, it's fun.
And then name a popular pizza topping.
Pepperoni.
That's probably the only one. The only acceptable answer. All right, let's just go through your answers real quick before we get Natty in here. You said, I asked you name a common color for flowers. You said yellow for 20 points.
Okay, I'll take that.
That's the number 2 answer, actually.
Yeah.
I asked name something you do when you get out of when you wake up in the morning. You said get out of bed. Actually, not on the list.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
I kind of didn't think too quickly about that one. I was like, brush my hair. I was like, what? You get out of bed to do all those things. So I don't know. All right.
There's one that's like use the bathroom, but I mean that's
You'd have to get out of bed to use the bathroom.
Everything in this list is like you have to get out of bed to do. But yeah, anyway. I said name a sport you play without a ball. You said swimming. That's the number 2 answer for 25 points.
Woo!
I said name a musical instrument. You said piano. That is 25 points.
Yeah, so number 2 again.
And I said name a popular pizza topping. You said pepperoni, which is the number 1 answer for 45 points.
Woo! I'm so smart. I know my pizza toppings.
Well, let's bring Natty back, and we'll get him to answer, and we'll see if.
Yo, what's up?
All right, Natty.
Boy, Natty, up in the house. What?
Can we kick him? Sir. Is it too late to kick him?
You're out of the podcast. Yeah, after that. Natty, are you ready?
Sure. As ready as I will be. How many questions are there? 5?
There are 5 questions. Would you like to know what Irish's total was? Or is that going to be too much pressure on you?
No.
So Irish put up a total of 115 points.
Good job, Irish. It's a W right there. And we need 200 to win, right?
Yes, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
Well, yeah. So you need 200 to win total, but we're gonna see who can put up more here too.
Whoa!
But you're working together. But you're working together. You're working together.
You're working together.
Put
against each other. Okay.
Yeah, it's a competitive thing, but it's fun. All right, Natty, are you ready?
Sure.
Natty, name a common color for flowers.
Yellow.
Try again.
Red.
Red. All right. Natty, name something you do when you wake up in the morning.
Check my phone.
Check your phone. All right. That's
such a millennial answer. Oh my god.
That is. Yes.
I should have thought about that.
All right, Natty, name a sport you play without a ball.
Wrestling.
Wrestling. Wow. Okay, that's.
I didn't think about that one.
It's a good pick though. Natty, name a musical instrument.
Drums.
Drums. All right.
Just looked over to
my
left.
Finally, that's amazing. And then finally, name a popular pizza topping.
Pepperoni.
Try again.
Cheese.
All right, cheese. All right. Let's see what Natty's points come out to here. Let me just.
Yep.
Your total here is 115 for Irish and 93 for Natty.
Yeah, I did it. Let's go.
No.
We did get 200.
Which does put you over 200.
Yeah.
With
by like 2 points.
With the 208 points. So good job, guys. You guys won.
High five, Irish.
Virtual high five.
Can we know the individual for Natty's points?
Can
we know the individual points?
The individual was 93. Oh, he got So the first question he got for the number 1 answer, red. He got when you wake up in the morning, check phone is the number 4 answer for 15. Wrestling
what was the number 1 answer for that one?
Brush teeth.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say brush teeth, but I was like, you have to get out of bed to do that.
And then wrestling was the bottom answer for the sport without a ball. The number 1 answer was hockey. Was hockey.
Oh yeah, because they use a puck, not a ball. That's,
musical instrument. Natty got the number 3 answer with drums.
Number
Irish
1 was guitar. Obviously.
Yeah, guitar was number 1.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then
that makes sense.
Natty got the second answer for pizza topping with cheese.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Good. Yeah. Good job all around. Yeah. All right. So let's move on to the meat and potatoes of
specifically the potatoes.
Irish potatoes. That was not
me.
That was not like I had no plan for that pun.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yeah, this is the part of the call where I leave and don't come back, and like the episode's like 5 minutes, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We just ended right now. So, Natty,
over.
What do you want to start with?
It's me. What do I want to start with? Okay, well let's start with. Look.
I mean, it's a big weekend.
It may be more obvious,
it was a big weekend.
No. I don't want to start there.
Oh wow, okay.
Irish, how did you get your name? I mean, it should be, But I'm wondering.
Yeah, it's not actually as obvious as you would think, because the whole there's a wee backstory to this. So, before I was called Irish Potato, I was called M_mygames16. So for context for that name, obviously my first name's Megan, so the M's taken from that.
Yep.
And my games, I don't know why that was my name. I was a gaming channel. Well, I still am a gaming channel, but I was trying to expand into a full-on gaming channel at that point.
Yep.
And then 16 was, I made that account in 2016. So, but there was a streamer that I met online, and you guys might know him as I'm Pizzas.
Yep.
You might have heard of him.
Yep.
So I was actually in one of his streams back in 2016, 2017. And he used to stream on this app called show.tv. I don't know if anyone here has heard of that ever. That might be a very niche thing, but it was basically a mobile streaming app.
Yep.
So a lot of people at the time streamed Minecraft Pocket Edition, because Bedrock Edition really didn't exist then.
Yep.
Or wasn't as common. So anyways, I was in his streams, and the whole thing is he's a pizza, right? And I made a joke being like, oh, you're a pizza, well, I'm an Irish potato. And yeah, that's how I got my name.
It just kind of stuck.
Yeah, every time I joined his streams from that point on, he called me the Irish Potato. So whenever I was trying to pick a new username, I went with that, because that's what people were calling me anyways. And obviously for spelling, the spelling was just purely, for the purposes of being unique, because if I spelled it just potato, Potato, no one's gonna click on that. Whereas at least if I had it spelled a little bit differently, it would stand out a lot more in the YouTube scene.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's how I got my name.
Nice.
And obviously, in case people don't understand, I am Irish, and there was a whole potato famine.
I thought you were
American. That's the joke.
Hold on. You're Irish?
Hold on.
Second.
I don't know.
Oh no.
I've known you how long?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
2 years.
News to me.
Yeah.
That's
completely news. Yeah. Oh my god. Crazy.
So, this kind of goes hand in hand, but what originally got you into content creation?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Nice.
It was, I started making content in 2016, so I've been doing it for about 8 years now, which is, I'm old.
Long time.
Yeah. I started making content when I was 15, and now I'm 23, so I'm I'm old. But
I started making content when I was 12.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer, I guess, in terms of making content, 15 years old. But I think it was just at that time kind of, everyone did make content, I was like, why can't I?
Yeah.
So I think that's just why I started, because I was like, why not?
Yeah, why not,
here
right?
I am years later being like, why did I do this to myself?
Why did I?
If I could sit down with 15-year-old Megan, I'd be like, don't do it. But
it's not worth it.
The advice.
It's funny because when we were in episode 1, that was the same advice Natty gave to himself. I asked him a question what could you tell your younger self, and he said that exact same thing.
Get out while you can.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It's been a phenomenal experience, but I wouldn't know half the people that I know now if I hadn't gone down that route. But at the same time, kind of wish she might have focused a bit more on her,
could have been
actual
a doctor,
life.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I never wanted to be a doctor. Anyways,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Anyways, yeah. So,
yeah.
I think that answered your question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Natty, got anything?
Oh,
I like throwing it to him.
Dude.
I like throwing it to him.
You always throw me
Let it
under
down,
the bus
Natty.
here. And then I come up with stuff like, what's your favorite color? So what's your favorite color, Irish?
It's pink, actually.
Pink. All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Not green, white, or orange. There you go. Man, see, learning stuff new on the ATG podcast.
Natty, what's your
It's an
favorite color?
exclusive. Green, I
Obviously.
would say. You think
Really?
blue, but
Really?
He gives off green vibes.
Is
you know?
that so? Is that?
Yeah.
thanks. Give off green vibes.
It's
Appreciate
not a
it.
compliment. No, I'm
Not
kidding.
a compliment. You guys are both saying
No.
it to the one
Well-
who wears a green skin, by the way.
That is true. That is true. I
Yes,
don't
I
like
do
that
as well.
shade of green though. You know.
Nah. Like a
No,
light green. Right?
Oh. Yeah. Irish. What got you into like the Hive and like the more like that kind of
Ooh.
server PvP sort of stuff?
I think so. The thing was, I used to play Lifeboat because I used to be a volunteer at Lifeboat, but I'm sure we'll probably get into that at some point, so I won't, explain all
We
of
could
it.
get
Go
into
ahead.
that now.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what you have planned for me, so I was like, maybe
No,
they have
let's
that
talk about
planned
it.
as a
Let's talk
segment.
about
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, what was it? My friend, his name is Shavinda, or people would have known him as Sign Creeper at that point, and then he was Cooper Caspian on the Lifeboat Network. If you've ever watched any Lifeboat Network live streams,
Yep.
the guy who runs it, that's my friend. So I knew him about a year or two before he started doing that. So this was about 2018, I think. Me being a Lifeboat player, I was like, oh yeah, I'll watch the stream, and I don't know why, for some reason he did not sound like himself whenever they did like a video introducing the character, and he didn't sound like himself in the video, so I was like, grand, it's like no one I know. And then the second I clicked on the live stream, I was like, hold on a second, I recognize his voice. So yeah, I DM'd him. I was like, are you Cooper Caspian? He's like, yeah, but like no one's meant to know. I'm like, how did you get to that point? It was very funny.
Yeah.
But obviously he was like, we're actually looking for stream moderators for the Lifeboat channel, so you should apply. And I was like, all right. So I did, and literally next day I got added to their workplace on Slack, and I was like, what's happening?
Wow.
So then just from there I kind of applied for other positions within the company, and worked my way up to like a senior moderator at that point. So I was literally like, if I was to progress any further, I would have been an admin for the network, but like I didn't.
Yeah.
But anyways, so
I always find it wild.
whatever.
Like, I don't know, like, because we talked to Prime, right, and he was really neck deep in the Hive, right? And on parts of it, I imagine he probably still is. Probably talks to a lot of them, right? And it always blows my mind because like I'm so on the outside when it comes to all that stuff, right?
Me as well.
Like even when I was making Hive content, like I was so on the outside, where like I didn't know anybody and I didn't know anyone in there. So it always blows my mind when I'm talking to people who are like, yeah, no, like I know the people who run this and that, because like Hive just seems like, because it's the biggest Bedrock server on. You know what I mean? So it's weird to me when I hear that stuff. So that's always interesting whenever I talk about it. So.
Yeah, anyways, my point was, what I was trying to get at was, at the same time I was volunteering for Lifeboat, once again I'm bringing pizzas into this, god damn it, I'm pizzas, but he was a helper, he was a helper for the Hive. So, what we used to do, what we did a few times was we used to collab comparing the two servers as, like, him being a helper versus me being a Lifeboat mod. So we would compare, like, for example, we compared Hive Skywars to Lifeboat Skywars and what was different, and kind of just played together and made content on that, and that went pretty okay.
Yep.
So he kind of introduced me to the Hive community in that way. Yep. And then obviously whenever I decided to leave Lifeboat, I was like, well, I'm not going to create content on it anymore, because like there's no point in me logging online because I'm not volunteering for them anymore. So I switched to Hive then. And obviously I knew him, and like he kind of his community, so I just built up from there, really. So yeah,
nice.
Yeah, leech off your friends, it works.
That's
I'm
the
I'm kidding.
That's the moral of the story here.
That's the moral of the story. But
guess,
you know what the thing is though, like I think we talked about this before, but like it's something of like you're always going to do better, especially when it comes to content creation when you're with other people, right? I think that it's not. I think I heard that like from like Mr. Beast or something, right? And he said something that like you're always going to learn faster and you're going to do better when you have other people who all have the same mindset as you.
Yeah.
Because you're all learning and making mistakes and telling each other about it together, right?
Yeah, no,
Instead
100%.
of if you go and make 100 mistakes on your own, then you'll make those 100 mistakes. But if you and your group of like 5 friends make 100 mistakes, you're going to gain more knowledge that way because all 5 of you are like anyway.
Yeah.
It's good to have a good community around you. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Speaking of good communities, let's just move right
community.
on. Let's just
segue.
Segue.
We had a very big weekend this past weekend, right? This episode will be coming out this Friday. So this will be last weekend for everyone watching this. MCBC came back for season 21.
MCBC. It's what it's all about.
A long-awaited break. We spent a lot of time working on stuff. So, I mean, we're going to talk about that, obviously, because that's really where we all came to meet.
That's the main topic,
And, that's very new. So, Irish, you were the only one here who played in it and didn't work on it.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about what did you like? What did you dislike?
Everything. And everything.
You disliked everything?
I loved everything and hated everything. There you go.
There you go.
No, wasn't like I just love playing in the event. Like sounds really cringe, but like
you were in season 11, right?
I genuinely enjoyed it. Yeah, I started in season 11, so I've been playing this event for 2 years. God damn it, I'm old. But probably not as old as other people. I mean, Chimmy's been there for 4 years. It was really funny.
I was here before I was born, dude.
Yeah. Before the event on Sunday, we were like some of the roster were in a call beforehand. Like we usually get in a call like about an hour beforehand just to talk about stuff. Yep. And obviously there's a hall of like champions. So I went there and Jimmy followed me, and I was saying to Jimmy, I was like, "Oh look, that's when we won season 13 2 years ago," and he was like,
"Dang."
He was like, "Oh my god!" Like we were both just like, "I can't believe that was 2 years ago." Like felt like yesterday. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Do you want to see what's worse?" So we went over to the Legacy season.
Yeah.
Whenever he won with
season
Grimm's,
6.
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to know the crazy part?
That was 2020, and I was like, "Oh my god, bro!"
You want to know the crazy part about season 6? His first win. It was me and TF Brit that versed him in Cactus.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And we was the first team that ever got 3 sweeped.
Oh.
So I carry that. I'm also the first person.
No thanks to Chimmy.
I'm also the first person to get reverse sweeped actually too.
Yeah.
So I just carry all the badges of honor. I'm just retired.
If you want to call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I think I found difficult, and this wasn't like from a player perspective. This is from like the roster manager perspective, was balancing the teams for the first time.
Yep.
Because my whole thing is that like obviously for people who don't know, for our roster, whenever they're signing up to every season, they have a question. They have a questionnaire they need to fill in.
Yep.
But one of the questions is, who would you like to team with and who would you not like to team with? So I tried to keep that in mind, especially who they don't want to team with, because we don't want to cause drama. We want to be all happy-go-lucky in the MCBC family. But so obviously I was trying to, for my first event, I was kind of trying to put people with people that they knew
and that
they wanted to team with. Yeah, so people had fun, and that's like my top priority as the roster manager. But the owner, is
Gigi?
also like unique. Yeah, Gigi is like, you need to balance it as well, though. And I was like, I was like, so we came to a compromise with like what teams were.
We're treating
a mix
Salado
of
like Voldemort, dude. We're not saying his name. Saying his name like Voldemort.
You just ruined it.
I thought if you said his name, you have to invite him onto the podcast, isn't it?
No.
He was invited to this podcast.
We invited him. He just didn't show up.
Oh,
Dude.
wow.
We invited him. We were in a call with him, and we invited him. Yeah, I should record that one time and put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
so that was a thing, and then we had someone drop out, and the person who dropped out was someone who had not played in the event before.
Yep.
So we were automatically like, oh god, we don't have like a lot of subs that could sub in, and everyone who is a sub for this season
was really good.
had experience playing before and were half decent at it. So we were like,
Well, it's a good thing Chimmy subbed in. So
yeah.
Someone who has the experience, but not necessarily
originally
I'm gonna hear
the
that
plan,
if he ever watches this.
yeah. Originally the plan was to sub in Plushy for Ali.
Yeah.
And Slater was like, no. And I was like,
that would have been
the
an
only one.
win.
He's the only one who replied.
It's either that or Plushy, man.
Slater's like, okay, just wait until see if anyone else replies. And then I was like, Jimmy replied, and he's like, yeah, that's less broken.
Yeah.
But like, I think.
And they still almost won.
Yeah, no. If you watch my POV back, like they were in first the entire time. Like they never faltered from first place, and I was like,
it's a good team though. It's a good team.
Yeah, I was like, what were me and Slater thinking putting Generous and Defect on the same team?
To be honest, though, the only game that I would have said, like looking at that team, I probably would have said the only game that they would have been not as good at would have been Cacti. That'd be like the only game that I was like, that is the game that would probably stop them.
I thought they would have at least gotten one.
And it did.
I thought it would have at least gotten one though, because like
I thought they wouldn't have gotten swept.
Well, Defect hasn't won yet.
But they've all played it. They've all played it before.
Yeah, they've all played it. So they had that on the red team.
But if you look at the other side though, like Rubixel, MBB, like both of them are Hive players, right? So they're more more PvP based, where like Chimmy doesn't play a lot of Minecraft. And Generous, yes, he
plays
does.
Java.
He plays
survival.
Java. He plays Java survival, right? And Defect, he's like the only real PvPer on the team. So it made sense, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It made sense why it went the way they did. No, but they all played great, and obviously. 22, we can't really make any comments about when that will be.
Yeah.
But we know that it is planned, and it
is happening.
It's just there's a lot going on with me and Slater right now because we're going through a move right now. So,
Expect the scene behind TZ to change.
It'll be the third room I will be in to record this podcast.
Yeah, and the roster are very much like, when's the next one? When's the next one? I'm like, be patient. It only just happened.
Yeah.
And
what?
Slater's like, we're moving, so like, give me a
they're
excited, second.
Though.
Like,
they're excited.
It is really nice that they are excited to be in more events, for there to be more, rather than being
like imagine like all of them were like, no, just take another year, keep working on it, like.
That would be devastating. They're like. Relic wasn't even good. Oh wait,
they can't tell you what Relic was like, dude. They didn't play it.
Yeah.
Another thing I was sad about was Relic not getting played.
Yeah,
so,
let's just talk about that.
Natty, do you need therapy? Like, do I need to give you therapy session?
Just so then any other roster members watching this can understand, everything else in the event was probably ready a good 4 months ago,
or could have been ready,
been ready at least a good 4 months ago, right?
We were working on Relic.
And then it was around the time we brought, like, I think it was around the same time we brought, like, it was about 4 months ago, actually. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. And when we brought Prime on, and we really started cooking on Relic. Yeah. And I would say, it delayed the entire event a little while. So thanks for skipping it. Really
Listen,
just.
Makes us.
I was trying so hard for it to get played. You don't understand.
No,
but literally, when Spleef was selected, I was like, it's not getting played, because everyone else was adamant on playing Battle Royale, and I was just like, poor Natty.
When you watch the admin stream, you could just see me go through grief as it slowly goes longer and longer.
I'll get played. Stages of grief,
It was funny because I was in a call with a few of the roster members afterward, right? And we were talking about Relic. And I was getting told like how they think it should be played, and I was like, "How are you the one telling me how this?" I'm like, "You haven't played it yet." I'm like, like everything you're saying is hypothetical. Everything.
I had a hypothetical. a hypothetical, way to play it, and then it didn't get played, and I was just
I'll
like,
say the
that's
same thing I
depressing.
said before. It seems a lot more complicated than it really is.
Yeah.
No, I think realistically, like, I'm saying this from, like, someone who watched the video and read the change log. It was a lot of information to process, and
yeah,
obviously, we had a lot of new players who hadn't played it before, and obviously, Relic was benched for a little bit as well, so there was a few people who didn't even play the original Relic on top of that.
That's why the event was benched.
Yeah.
The event was benched.
But, there's people who've played, like, the event, like, once or twice now, like Evan and Gemfire, who haven't actually played Relic, originally.
Yeah.
So, and then, obviously, we have new roster members that we invited, and some that played in the event, some that didn't. They have no experience whatsoever of
They'll
the
play
event
it.
at all.
They'll play it. They'll get around to it.
I think it will be played. I think it will be played season 22 because I think if there's not a lot of changes to the rest of the games, which it's probably just going to be quality of life changes rather than anything else. It's going to be the only new game for people to play, so I think that will get them interested, and then at least they'll have time to think about potential strategies going into it with their teams.
Yeah.
So,
I think there before the end of the year, I think there's like 3 events?
3
or 4, probably.
3 or 4?
Yeah.
One of those.
So yeah. There'll be a few opportunities to play Relic.
Yeah.
Way I'll put it.
I know for a fact the one event I decided to sit out is the one and only time we're gonna play Relic, and I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a little tragic.
I'd be actually crying in the corner with NattyDucks.
Dude, I can't wait for Relic to get played again. Like, I think it was hilarious that it got skipped, because the more times, I think it'd be funny if it got skipped again for 22.
Yeah.
Because the more times it gets skipped, the more I'm just gonna have an advantage for festive. So keep skipping it, guys.
Keep doing it, guys.
Because, like, I got a lot of footage.
many footages.
If it doesn't get played, it's just going to be like the same-ish rooms. And like
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not going to change. You're going to go in there and destroy.
But yeah, overall, I think the event went really well.
Keep skipping it.
From what I gathered, most players were happy. I did try to get, like, feedback and stuff from them after the event, like, as the roster manager, and also the kind of welfare person, I guess. Just, are you okay? Do you need help? Because that's part of my job as well. I just make sure the roster members are happy as well. It doesn't take anything extra to just at least check up on people, being like, how did you feel about that? Next event, would you like, do you have any concerns about you playing in it or anything like that? So but overall, I think everyone was happy enough with it, so
well, that's good.
Yeah, so.
That's important, right?
Yeah,
you want to
very
make sure
important.
they're having fun.
Thank you for being the roster manager, Irish, and taking that job.
I'm actually really
you were like
it. Yeah,
taking over.
You're like I think our first pick, Peter's HD. It was a weird time after he left and before we got you, where it was like,
yeah.
I had to say, it was just kind of Slater doing everything.
Yeah,
and then me kind of helping a little bit. Yeah.
It was really funny because I didn't actually apply for the role.
No, yeah.
I just got asked to do it, and I was like, okay.
On the Irish show live, it's true.
Yeah. No, lore, but I think at the time, whenever I was appointed, we were advertising a social media manager, like, position. So I applied for that one, and Slater DM'd me being like, hey, well, I think you'd be a great fit for that. I think you'd be even better at this. And I was like, all right, I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. So, yeah. Yep.
So, I mean, I like to ask this question. We'll go around the horn. We just all said we'll go around the horn here.
Yep.
What's Irish? What would you say was your favorite season of MCBC?
See, like, for the purposes of content, obviously it would have to be season 13 because it's the only one I've won.
Yeah.
But even, like, apart from the content side of things for that, like, my team were very fun.
Yeah.
And, like...
You've had a lot of fun teams, actually.
It was my first time interacting with Jimmy. And, like, I kind of knew Prime then. I didn't really know him too well, though. But, like, it was just a very, like... instant vibe kind of thing. Like, we
Jimmy's
just hit
pretty
it off
easy to
immediately.
get along with.
Yeah. And it was really weird because, like, looking back at some of the teams in that season, I kind of question how my team won out of it. The people we were up against in Cactus was Peters HD, Pontyboy, and Gigi the Puppy. If we had to fight that team now, we would have lost immediately. Not even a question.
Lay you out.
Yeah, we would have been instant. But in terms of obviously, like, my personal enjoyment, I would have to say it was Festive 2023.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Not 2022. We don't talk about Festive 2022. I kind of rage quit.
I mean, Festive 22. I like that season because, you know, I won.
There you go.
TZ won Festive 2022, and I rage quit 2022.
It's like the yin and yang of Festive for me. It's like I win one and I get dead last in one. To
be fair, the only reason why I rage quit was because my internet was not having it that day, and my teammates at the time, I love both people individually. As a team, we did not work. And obviously, I've had another season where I was teamed with one of the people on that team, and we had an amazing time. We came third place overall. We were vibing, but 2022 was not a good vibe for me.
It just wasn't a good day.
Not a good day at all. No.
I was winning, so no one was happy.
I'm still adamant that my internet hates frozen oceans. I'm adamant because it happened in 2022 in Festive that my internet just acted up.
Your internet died too in
especially on frozen lakes or frozen oceans, not frozen lakes.
Well, maybe we just get a new Christmas map, guys. Maybe we just get a new Christmas map.
There you go.
For 2023, me and TZ were on a team, but we played frozen oceans again, and I literally was saying to the guys, I was like, my internet is doing it again. My internet hates this map.
And then I just decided
I was fine after for the rest of it. It was literally the one time we played Riff Race. My internet just yeeted itself. It was great.
I just decided to shit the bed during that run. I don't know what was up.
Yeah.
Nothing was going my way.
That's a fun POV to watch that team.
Yeah,
it is a fun POV.
Shouldn't have been saying this.
There was a reason why it was a fun one to watch, but I
literally went to bed after that. The stream turned off, and I was like, I gotta lie down.
Yeah. I say you did. Yeah.
Natty, what would you say?
What about you, TZ? Oh, me?
Yeah, we'll go to you first.
I don't. Well, obviously, I haven't played in any. So there's that.
You could say an admin event.
An admin event.
I mean, I could, but
hosting perspective, maybe.
Admin events. I had an enjoyment for my first admin MCBC back in season 7, I think.
Oh, Christ.
His team was Cinnamon, and that was my first time experiencing MCBC. We got, I think, the one and only time there's been a tie at the end of the game.
Third and second tied, so we did a one-round contest deciding who was in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's the only time it ever happened, and it was the first time I was playing in the event. So definitely memorable. And it wasn't Cinnamon's first time, but
he played in 5
because he played in season 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was still it was really cool, getting to do that. As for main events, I don't know why season 16 kind of stands out to me because it felt like. I mean, I had done a lot for season 16.
I knew you were gonna bring up 16 at some point. I was prepping myself mentally for you guys to mention it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It felt like a point in time when MCBC was kind of going right.
Yeah.
Somewhat. And then it fell off.
Moment.
Well, that was right after Festive 22.
Yeah.
And that was right before.
Cactus was a different part of that season, but you know what I
mean.
Yeah.
And then that was right before the boots and all the lag and issues and everything. So that was the peak, I would say.
Yeah, hopefully we can get back to that point. Not with the cacti, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, for me, I would say there's like a three-way tie for like my favorite seasons.
You better say our seasons.
It's
You
actually
better say our
it
seasons.
actually might be more than three. Like I have like a few that are my favorite, and and like obviously like season 4, my first win will always hold the place. Yep. It's not my favorite.
T-Bugs, the clout.
It's not my favorite. Like it is a good season, and like if Boggs ever came back, I would totally team with him again. But my favorite seasons have got to be the 2 festives.
Mm-hmm.
I would say season 7, and then I'm gonna say season 12.
Okay, good. You mentioned you're still in my good books. You mentioned the times you teamed with me, so that's good.
Because I would say season 12 was one of my most fun seasons, despite the fact that we lost.
Yeah, I mean we were close. We were close.
Like I blame a lot of that season on me.
I mean,
blame it on me
because it was my fault.
I do too, but
but like getting to team with Philly again was really cool. It was a real full circle moment because like me and him teamed in the first season, and he'd come so far and like just came off a win and all of this other stuff. So, and he was actually playing on a computer.
He reached his peak and then fell rock bottom with TZ. Myself.
But another thing, and I just saw Natty write it down on our board, but I'm gonna segue right into this. Season 12 was also the thing that got you invited to Andosa.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was also hoping you guys
would
mention Andosa.
Just go right into it.
Yeah,
no, that was the moment. It was like we talked about doing Andosa season 2, and Slater was like, well, who do you want to invite? And I was like, well, how about Irish? And then we kind of talked about it with Natty, and Natty was like, yeah, sure, 100%. And then Gigi, I don't even know how Gigi came into the mix, but she did, and I think we were just hanging out with her a ton. And,
we love our coffee addicted dog. It's fine.
100%. And we were like, we need some chaos in the mix.
Yeah,
Gigi the puppy screams chaos. I agree.
So
in the nicest way possible, obviously.
Yeah,
so,
Andosa
was
season 2 was
fun.
That was a really fun experience getting to know you better and Gigi better, as well as TZ and Philly even more. But it was just, I mean, you never played in season 1 of Andosa, but season 2 was definitely a big upgrade.
It was a big scale,
and it was
big scale difference.
It was really cool seeing the difference that went into it. So props to Slater for putting all the time into that.
Honestly, shout out to Slater for that, because like that was obviously a very different experience for me, but like a really good different experience. But like he had to do so much.
And I know I've talked about this honestly. When we brought Philly on, we talked a lot about this, and I've said it. Like if the conversation of a season 3 ever started, I would totally be open to it as long as the story fit. Right.
I feel like as well, like
2 was such a great ending for me that like
it was very finite.
Yeah, it really brought a lot together. It almost brought like a lot of the SMP stuff for me together, like the multiple series that we've done, like going to the Infinite Lands area, and then like the whole ending with like
the Hardcore Haven
battle and going to Hardcore Haven. Like there was a lot of like it felt like an Avengers Endgame, right? And that's the best way to describe it. So to do a season 3, like I'd be down, but it would have to. I told Slater, I'm like, you would have to pitch me a story, and I'd have to be like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun.
I feel as well, maybe to play into the more like well, not role play aspect of it, but the more storyline aspect of the season. Maybe having new characters that we could play, or people could play. That would probably be the, I feel like if you're ever to do Andosa season 3, that would kind of be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the stories of those characters that you guys developed over 2 seasons and I developed over a season.
Whole new world, right? Like kind of do like a soft
an alternate reality. What if they lost?
Yeah, like the whole new characters almost. Yeah. And just kind of reboot it, which is what I thought season 2 was going to do. And it didn't, which I was okay with, but it was really interesting.
Irish. So I get asked this question. I got asked this question by Slater. a while ago. But where do you think your character went after the finale of season 2 of Andosa? Like, what do you think?
Because I know he was saying.
I
know he was said to me that like if he ever did the season 3, he would ask all of us, and he would kind of start where you would want.
Yeah. I feel like Irish would have stayed in Stormhaven, in honesty.
That's
I
fair.
think
that's kind of where I thought
Steve or
Natty would have stayed as well.
Steven. Why was I saying Steve? Why where did I get Steven from? It's Theo.
Andor.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know, but I feel like Theo,
that's his name. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know why I came up with Steven. Especially that's a really weird one considering that's my ex's name. But we'll move on. But Theo, I felt like Theo would have needed that support, and I think Irish would have been able to give him that support, and kind of from their interactions, I think Irish would have stayed with Theo.
Yep.
And help, at least oversee the rebuilding of it. I don't think she would have left. I don't know. It's
I always said that my character would have left and gone and built like a farm somewhere.
Yeah, I can see Casey doing that.
Think like Thanos after and like when he's like on that farm planet. That'd be me.
Except he doesn't get offed.
You never know
and stuff.
You never know,
dude. Yeah. DZ. Yeah.
You never know.
I think a fun idea for season 3. Imagine it's like the what is it? The Suicide Squad game, Kill the Justice League, where we have to go back in time to kill ourselves.
We are new characters. Andosa kill the heroes.
Oh god.
Yeah, and we gotta kill our past selves.
That'd be kind of funny.
Dude, it'd be kind of insane. It would be like, there's Natty, and there's a boss fight against him.
Yeah. You could even get like AI too, right, to like voice all of us.
There you go. That's not terrifying at all.
Nah, yeah.
That is not at all.
It'd be funny though. It'd be funny though.
Definitely
there you go, Slater, if you're listening.
Definitely,
make it happen.
No, it was definitely like I would say it's probably the best, if not the most fun I've had when it comes to a Minecraft series.
Yeah.
I'd
agree with that.
While playing on it, like it was just like season 1 and 2. Like season 1 was so much more vanilla, I would say is the best way I can describe that. But like it was also we were pit against each other so much. Like half the season was me against all of them, right? And so then going into season 2 and having Natty and Philly just like not trust me no matter what I did was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then there was like Gigi, who was just like breeding her dogs and like just like again just chaos.
Feeding time.
Yeah. I remember, what is it? After like the chaos of season 1, in season 2, I went into Gigi's house and read a book that she left out there that led to some story thing that happened like an earlier day or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went and explored that. And then when I told her about it when she was next on, she's like, "Why were you going to my house looking at my books and whatnot?"
Oh,
I'm like, "I didn't steal anything."
Yeah.
I'm like, compared to season 1, that's nothing. Season 1, it's like...
To be perfectly honest with you, the chest you looted, I knew that was there.
Yeah.
I knew that was there.
The one thing I would say about Gigi, her character development was really good as well, because I think episode 1, she just wanted to murder everyone. Like, she was not playing with like the idea of like being in a collective like group.
I mean, she was still trying to kill Natty by the end.
Yeah.
I was
think season finale, she was running around trying to murder you. I have recollection of that. Yeah, but yeah, I did like the idea that I didn't remember anything because it kind of helped,
explain, you had like main character.
Yeah, but like it helped because I didn't watch the first season, and I didn't do any research going into it. I was going in blind.
Which kind of made it better, to be honest with you. Like,
because I got to ask you guys like about.
But it also kind of worked
with
your character. It kind of worked with the character because you didn't have any memories, right? Like that was part of your character. Like you got brainwiped.
Yeah.
So the fact that you had no idea about anything kind of worked, and we had to explain everything to you.
Yeah.
And then it turns out you just have like low-key god powers, and we're like, oh, all right.
It was a god.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
If we could turn back time.
My favorite part about season 2 was just every time like Krolok in my brain would allude to some sort of lore, and I would just be like, "Yo, it's probably this," like it's probably just. And then I just hear Slater like, "Shut up."
Slater was so mad at you every time you were like, "Here's my theory." Then the next week it's like, "Oh,
exactly. Hey, it just happens.
Right.
It just happens." Yeah. Because like he would set it up like the week before, right? So it's not like he's too far in. He's too far in.
Yeah.
It was like the first time he like the voice in my head was like, "Oh yeah, you need to tell Irish. You need to mention." I was like, "Listen, you're probably Krolok, and like what? Like Irish is like your kid or some shit. Like what's going?"
Wow.
I was like, "What's going on? Like what's?"
To a T, bro.
I was like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, and it was like, boom, dude. I love the pumpkin lore. The fact that you could eat pumpkin pie and it would make him be shut up.
The best part about that whole lore was when I got to like change his name 100 times. It was like it was not a canon episode. I was just on and he was talking to me and I just kept renaming him the whole stream. So I called him Ice King. I named him Bartholomew James III Jr. And like he would change the name of the thing in chat.
Yeah.
It was a funny day.
I just liked my character having daddy issues. I can't lie.
It was pretty funny.
It was always such a funny joke at the time. Looking back now, I probably shouldn't have done that, but it kind of made it more funny. So
it was kind of funny. You should have seen the lore in season 1. Like that's not as weird. Like Britt was low key hitting on one of the characters. He was like, hey, yo.
You can't forget the Natty.
Which, by the way, was technically your mom.
That is true.
Britt was trying to become your dad.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
No, I know. Like we've talked about. Like if we ever did a season 3, like it'd be cool to get him back too, because.
Definitely,
it would just kind of again bring it full circle, right? We'd have the whole crew, because again, he would just add a whole other level of chaos. Him and Gigi would. That I don't even want to picture it. I don't even want to picture it. Yeah.
Oh god,
it's over.
No, not yet. Like if we ever did one, I'd definitely like. It would be cool to get all of us in, because that'd be really sick. But everyone's super busy right now, and I mean I'm going through school,
life,
move, and
life, yeah. But
everyone's
we'll get around to
younger,
it.
so
yeah, at some point we could see it happening.
Definitely, yeah.
Ton of fun. Natty, you got anything else?
I mean, couple things you could go into. I don't know.
Shoot it.
I'm prepared for anything, and I'm not prepared at all.
So you know that group you were part of.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna ask about it. I knew you were gonna ask about it. Yeah.
Well,
I told you I was prepared for anything.
Yeah. How'd that come to be, and then how did it not come to be anymore? I guess.
Lol. When did it die? We actually explained this in our podcast episode, so clearly you should not watch the podcast episode, NattyDucks.
I mean, I watched it, so
No.
Well, look, maybe it's for our viewers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah. I'm kidding. It's fine. So,
Natty's just salty because he never got an invite, though.
Dude, honestly, the main reason I did my face reveal, dude, I was like, I can finally get into Variety.
No.
Because they were needing face cam people.
It was funny because after I did the second video, Natty was like, dude, how come you keep getting invited? And I was like, honestly, I just happened to be on, and they DM me like, hey, are you available? Because somebody else falls through.
When Slater made it into a video, I'm like, nah.
You were done.
It's over.
Was it so? We weren't ever really meant to be a content group. It kind of just happened out of nowhere, really. Obviously, Peter's HD or Adam, he had the idea to bring us together as a group. The
Nick Fury of the group.
From what I gather, I was the last one added, so I don't really know the context of the group beforehand.
Okay.
But from what I gather, the original Discord server where everyone was in was called Keep It As Saturdays. I don't know why it was called that. He explained it to me at some point, and I've completely forgotten the lore.
Yeah.
But so I was friendly with Peters and like the people in it, so I was like, oh, like, would I be able to join? And he's like, I mean, I don't really know if you would want to join. I mean, like, there's a lot of like jokes that people make that are a bit weird, and I was like, it's because I'm a girl, isn't it? I pulled the girl card, but
yeah,
it
I could have explained
that. That was the reason.
That was the reason.
I believe that.
I was like, listen, like, I don't care about those jokes. I'm the only girl in my family. I have 3 brothers. You don't think I grew up hearing those jokes constantly around me? Like, you know the way like people joke about like a pick-me girl in like a group of guys or something versus like the actual girl who's in with the guys. I was that. I was the girl who was in with the guys. So like I grew up with a lot of that same humor in my friend groups. But so eventually he caved and he added me, and then I think, you know, a few days later he was kind of like, hey guys, what would you think about making this like a content group for fun? And I was like, yeah, sure. So we were brainstorming ideas. I came up with the name and the logo because I'm just the best ever to exist.
Just the GOAT, you know.
Yeah, I was like, in case you can't tell, I have a weird naming system. So I take an actual word and just spell it differently, and it's still pronounced the exact same way. Like,
but it works. It works though.
It works though. Yeah. That. So, you know, Irish potato. You know, potato spelled differently, but still spelled potato. It's unique. It stands out. Variety is just the word variety.
Yeah.
But Variet and then -T, because, like, you know, the way, you know, Irish and British people pronounce it, we kind of pronounce it Variet-T rather than variety. But, like, you know, the emphasis, you know, it can change. But yeah, so our first video was Among Us, and everyone who was in that video was actually in the group. So who was in that video? It was me, Peters, Danda, Shonster, Ponty, MBB, Oracat, Mixer, Dragon Boy,
don't bring him up.
Someone else.
There's so many people.
I think it was just us 9 in that video, and then Yara Boy was meant to be in the group, but obviously, like, he has a weird time zone comparison. Everyone else is, you know, similar time zones. I mean, the only outliers would have been Yara, Mixer, and Dragon Boy.
Yep.
But yeah. So, and then, like, you know, we did a few videos with other people, different collabs, and then we took a little bit of a break. I think for about maybe, I don't remember the span. It could have been like 6 months to a year, I think.
Yeah. Typical MCBC downtime between the season.
Yeah, and then we came back, and whenever we came back as a group, we'd gone from, like, you know, 10 members to, like, I think 6, I want to say. So we, you know, we've added a bunch of new people, and then they left, and then we added more new people, and then they eventually left, and you know, old people were leaving and stuff. So I think whenever we came back with the face cam content, that was like the new era. So it was me, Peters, Danda. Sean was kind of there, but he wasn't really. I think he left at that point, but like he came back for a video or two. So he was kind of like a regular more so than a member. It was, me, Peters, Danda, Vercon or Vera, then Mixer and Dragon Boy.
Yep.
And then by the time the group ended, it was just me, Vera, Peters, and Danda. The reason why we stopped doing content, it wasn't really like a agreed upon thing. I think it was just everyone kind of was doing their own thing, and we just felt
life gets in the way.
We just felt it was right to just not focus on that at the moment, I think.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be making a return, and I feel like if we ever did come back, I mean, it would have to be under new management, because Peters was the main guy kind of running that, and obviously he doesn't do
big step away.
He doesn't do content anymore. Yeah. He's an editor now, so he edits. It's like he could have edited the videos, if the rest of us continued, but then Danda kind of in and out of content creation. I'm kind of the same, and Vera moved on to a different type of content style to the rest of us.
Yeah.
So,
it makes sense.
People, you move around, right? Like things.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the thing is, we didn't want to make a big deal out of it as well. Like,
Yeah, I get that.
I forgot Ella was in the group as well. Unfortunately, Ella, her reason behind quitting content was for more personal reasons, so I'm not gonna discuss that on 100%. Here. But she kind of left abruptly. We didn't really expect it, but it happened, so we can't really do a whole lot.
Yeah, it was. That's
kind of why.
It was a good time though. I remember watching a lot of.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and me and Sean talk about it now. And I think if we had started it, I think at this point where we were, like where we're actively kind of making content again, I think it would have worked better. I think it was ahead of its time, because I think whenever we made the group, there was kind of like what am I trying to say? A bit of a dip in like content generally on YouTube and specifically in our communities. So we were kind of just like, let's just do video games that aren't Minecraft, and we just kind of labeled the group as Minecraft YouTubers playing games that aren't Minecraft related.
Yeah,
and then we played MCC Island, so ignore that obviously.
Yeah.
But,
the thing with like those sort of like groups projects somewhat is trying to make sure that everyone is on board for the long haul somewhat, and that can be tricky getting especially a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, like with this like podcast thing, it's just us two, so it's not too big of an issue. But like with things like Andosa, where it's like we wanted people that would be there, be able to kind of go all the way with it.
It's not like it's like MCBC is like, it takes up 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
For Andosa,
and then you could
making
leave,
a channel or like a podcast, you're supposed to do it a lot, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're setting off a lot of time. I mean, this is like the podcast is pretty much the only thing I edit nowadays. Like I edit some stuff for MCBC, but in terms of things I'm making, like I make podcast episodes. That's about it.
Yeah.
I have a Lethal Company video in the works, but that's about it. Like it might not come out.
Yeah,
for
I think I have the exact same Lethal Company video in the works.
Yeah.
But I haven't uploaded it at all, and it's been like I think it must be about 7 months since that recording. Like
Yeah.
We
gotta get that group together again.
Yeah, no, it's very fun.
But yeah.
What was I gonna say? Obviously, it's not my first time being in a content group. Like Variety wasn't the first group I was a part of.
Yep.
I was part of a Hive content group for a little bit. Then I was promptly removed from said content creation group for I think the reasoning they gave me, like, well, not face to face, but like, privately, was that I had a lot going on at the time, and I did. But kind of, whenever we had like a group meeting before, a bunch of us were removed, and kind of the reasonings, what like the guy was saying, they were more so digs at me. But I can't do a whole lot about that at the end of the day. I think that actually worked out better, because that group then literally became a clout group. So it was not they did not care about the content. They just wanted as many big names as they could to get into the group at the end of it. And then obviously that fell apart. Yeah, and then that obviously fell apart because, like, no offense to the guys involved with it, they're very nice people, but if your whole thing on was getting, like, a bunch of people to work together to create content on Hive that all had some type of creator rank, I think literally everyone at, like, in the end days of that group had YouTube rank or streamer rank, and TikTok as well, actually. But like the whole point of that group then was just to be like, oh yeah, this is a group. These people all have ranks. They're cool, so the group is cool as well.
Yeah, I think that's the thing just with content in general, right? Like there's this big difference between wanting to make YouTube videos and wanting to make a successful channel, right?
Yeah.
And it comes down to passion, right? It's kind of it's like that with anything, right? Like you can love wanting to do something, right?
Yeah.
But if you are making money off of something and you don't enjoy it, eventually you're going to stop doing that thing. Eventually, right? The idea is that you're doing something that you love doing, and that will make it so you don't want to stop doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like me personally, I don't like editing gaming videos. That's why I don't do it. That's the main reason I don't do it.
That's absolutely fair. Me too.
But I like I'm sounding like an old man when I say this, but like over the years, you would run into a lot of people, and you would just hear the way they talk, and it's like you can tell like they're not really in this for the community or for like the love of something like that. It's like specifically like they want to like make the most profitable video, which is fine. That's a fine reason for wanting to do something. That is totally fine. Like hey, money is completely a great valid reason,
and you can be passionate about like the analytics and that sort of stuff. I mean,
absolutely.
Look at like Mr. Beast, for example.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm not bashing anybody who's into money. I love money too.
But you're like passionate about that and not just
it's a different
because you want to make money. It's a different kind of thing.
It's a different mindset, right? So and if you can pull off both, that's the goal. That's really the goal. If you can be very passionate about something and still like make some sort of profit off of it, or make it cool in that sense, it's
So guys, subscribe to the podcast so that way we can get there.
Wow, what a
Get
great
the money,
What
guys.
a great transition, Natty. Thank you.
I know, what a great transition.
So, I mean, that's pretty much everything we have planned for today.
Okay, cool.
So Irish, thank you for coming on.
Hey, no worries at all. Happy to be here.
I mean,
Thank you for having me.
Do you have anything you want to shout out? The channel, anything like that?
Put your YouTube in the description.
Whenever the next MCBC is, please vote Relic Raiders in the Discord vote so Natty doesn't get depressed, please.
There you go.
You don't understand. He will not shut up about it. It's his whole personality, and his whole personality came crashing down.
Yeah, I'm having an identity crisis now.
Just for you guys, we're going to put Irish's YouTube and the MCBC Discord down in the description just for that shout out. And,
so go check it out.
I got a shout out for being nice and not shouting myself out.
So,
it worked.
Thank you guys for coming out for the ATG Podcast episode 12.
So much.
We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I think we're going to be talking about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah. And Slater, wait.
He
didn't show up.
Yeah.
Dude, we literally invited you, dude. Oh, man. The audacity. You should have seen
a vibe.
Exactly. At the end of the last podcast, we even hinted towards him, but he didn't even show. So
sorry to Slater again. We ran out of time.
Bozo.
We'll get you next time, and
we'll get you next time.
You guys have a good one. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Peace. Have a good one. Bye.